I'm extremely pleased to welcome to the studio Ms. Kathleen Speake, who comes from an organization called ECPAT. And they are an international organization that is helping reduce the level of child prostitution and child trafficking around the world. Welcome, Kathleen.
It's nice to be here.
Now, this is obviously a serious issue that we hear about. What is your organization doing to help stop this?
Our organization, as you say, is global, and we fight against child prostitution, child trafficking for sexual purposes, and child pornography around the world. Our global office in Thailand has been here for close to 15 years, and we have seen within Thailand and within Bangkok sex tourism, prostitution, children on the street, and trafficking over the years. And we basically work with different stakeholders within civil society, private sector, government, to raise awareness, to have a dialogue on those issues, to influence at the policy level, and to ask everybody to take their responsibility in ending these egregious crimes.
Is that kind of a tough thing to do in Thailand? Because remember a few months ago, there was that big brouhaha about the child porn DVDs that were being sold on Sukhumvit. Of course, the government freaked out about it. They said they're cracking down.
And they moved one block over and everyone
and then
forgot about it.
The next day, they're all set up again. So how do you try to push this change?
Well, you raise a good point, because our staff did see child pornography, I guess it was last year, and phoned up the police and had a discussion and stopped it. Unfortunately, it does pop up in other places, but I think over time we're able to make a difference through these conversations. When the government of Thailand has to sign on to international instruments like the optional protocol against the sale of children, which includes provisions around pornography in it, then they're compelled, they step up on the world stage and they're monitored and they need to report against these things. So over time, with that kind of commitment internationally and with this kind of awareness we raise locally, there's really an opportunity for everybody to ask for changes to be made.
It should be something that countries voluntarily tackle and get rid of, but now it's just too bad that you sort of have to say, well, now everyone's watching. What's your next move?
Well, we are really all responsible to protect children and to protect the fundamental rights of children, but as you say, it doesn't necessarily come along in a straightforward path, and there's a lot of complexities. I would say that most governments, including the Thai government, really do not want pornographic images of children sold on their street, and when you bring it to their attention, yes, they are appalled, and yes, they want to do something about it. It's a question sometimes of resources. There's so much going on these days that police departments are fortunately not very well funded. And when we make the kinds of requests that we do to shine a spotlight and say you do need to spend more money on policing, it gets attention.
So what kind of steps do you guys do to try to raise awareness on this issue?
Well, there's working with the different stakeholders, and one really interesting campaign that we have on now is with the Body Shop. And it's really an opportunity to raise awareness with customers of the Body Shop. And these are pretty much ordinary people that come into the storefront and they learn about these kinds of issues. There's material in the shop that tells them about how well the Thai government is doing, what the gaps are in terms of legislation and activities. They can learn that information, then they can sign a petition and they can say to the Thai government, please, we do want you to ratify certain conventions and take certain steps. And that has been an example of a really important activity that I think the Thai government has taken note of, and representatives of the Body Shop and ECPAT International will meet with representatives of the Thai government, hand over that petition and ask them to do things such as ratify the UN protocol against trafficking, put more money into policing, have more services and shelter for vulnerable kids, and these things will make a difference.
The Body Shop is all over Bangkok and all over major cities in Thailand and almost in every mall in the country, I think. So well, it's convenient.
It's convenient and terrific, because now all of the people that work in the shops have a very good understanding. We train them, so then they're able to talk with customers and really raise the level of the public's ability to be accountable in a sense, because they have information and they can ask questions. And the Body Shop is also selling a product, hand cream, and the revenues from that, a portion of the revenues go to some of the anti-trafficking work that we've been doing at ECPAT International, including a really interesting program with child survivors, helping them to be empowered and to reach out in their community to others who are at risk and to become advocates really for anti-trafficking activities that need to happen, legislation and policy that needs to be put in place.
What is the reaction from the communities that you go into when you start to bring this subject up? Obviously, it's a delicate subject. How do they respond to you guys?
It really depends on who you're talking with, but I agree it is a delicate subject. For example, we have been for a number of years talking with organizations that work in the travel and tourism industry. And so when you talk to them about these things, at first they don't really want to hear. But I think when you provide the information about how children, perhaps on their property, could be vulnerable, they become aware and they want to make a change, and they want to be the eyes and ears within a community.
For those of us living here, though, what can we do to kind of help out?
Well, please sign the petition. There's a few more days before it closes globally. On the end of September, we will be handing over the global petition to the UN Human Rights Council. Right now, it has 6.94 million signatures worldwide. We'd like it to be 7 million. So if you have an opportunity in the next few days to get to the body shop here, please sign it. And when you do, learn a little bit more about the issue and the areas where you might be able to make a difference. Please go to our website. We're ECPAT.net. You can learn more about our programming. And we're always grateful to those who press the donate button, because I can say that the money really does go into good projects in communities that make a difference for vulnerable youth and children who have been withdrawn from sex tourism and commercial sexual exploitation of children.
Is this available at body shops all around the world, or is it only in Thailand?
It's available in 50 countries.
Okay. What's your deal with the Accor Hotel? You know, many of tourists come in Thailand looking to book a hotel. What's the arrangement that you guys have with the Accor Hotel?
We've been working with the Accor Hotel for 11 years now. We've been training with them, and together we've put together and worked on this code of conduct for the protection of children in travel and tourism. It just means that if you go into an Accor property, you'll see a donate box in the lobby, you'll see some material. They'll tell you a little bit about what sex tourism is and what are the signs that you should be aware of. They're also trained, if they see somebody come into the hotel who has a child with them, to know how to deal with that particular situation. They also will only sign contracts with suppliers that have child protection policies, and they'll do CSR work in the community to raise awareness and work with different constituents and police, and they'll actually provide a report of all of this. So these, I think, are the kinds of hotels that all of us would like to patronize, and they are doing this in Thailand, in Asia, and in 34 countries.
So some of these hotels would be like Novotel, Sofitel, very popular hotels here in Bangkok.
Absolutely.
Tourists could stay at that if they want to help out. This is a good option. Once again, your website is at ecpat.net, ECPAT.net. And if you're in a body shop, sign the petition, buy some hand cream. Thanks, Kathleen. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Thanks again.